All right, folks. Pennsylvania has been forced to remove hundreds of corona deaths from their records after coroners have come forward and saying that this shit don't make sense. Uh, Here we got the Blaze, Daily Wire, ABC, Investors Hub, but I don't think that you're going to see this on the mainstream media much. I think, if anything, you're going to see a counter narrative to talk about this. Pennsylvania, here it is. Pennsylvania forced to remove. Let's get rid of this ad. Pennsylvania forced to remove hundreds of deaths from coronavirus death count after coroners raised red flags. Hats off to these coroners. These are we the people. These are what we need. These are the people that are looking at the science, looking at the data, and telling us the truth. We need to look at this further. Let's read. Pennsylvania has had to remove hundreds of coronavirus deaths from its official death count this week following questions of accuracy and highlighted discrepancies by area coroners. Is it just Pennsylvania? You think this is just Pennsylvania, folks? You think it's just Pennsylvania where accuracy and highlighted discrepancies are being found? The PA Health Department decided to include probable coronavirus deaths or an assumed COVID-19 related death without testing for the virus. They added it to their death tolls dating back to days and even weeks ago. But the death toll spike raised questions from coroners who came forward to highlight a discrepancy in death totals, which were not adding up to the number of all-cause deaths. Not adding up, folks. The shit is not adding up, and the people are waking up, and the states are opening. And it's not going to be the government that's going to help us to see through this. It's up to the people to help us see through this shit. The scrutiny triggered multiple revisions and statements from the department because they can't get their fucking shit straight. Excuse my language. Including the removal of 200 probable COVID-19 deaths and a claim of computer glitching. So they actually did remove 200, and they said it was a computer error. That's a lie. These folks are lying. Pennsylvania started to include probable deaths and its fatalities. As a result, the total number of coronavirus deaths grew by 276 and then 360 in successive nights, almost doubling the number of deaths in the state in 2 days. The health secretary, Rachel Levine, who decided to include probable deaths in the department's total account, acknowledged to the Philadelphia Inquirer that such deaths may change over time. We realize that this category can be confusing since it does change over time. That's pretty much like, yeah, you guys caught us and we're going to change the numbers. Everything's changed. It's confusing. This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting right here, folks. At times, there are things we need to review and potentially revisit the way the data is being analyzed, she said, and this is one of those times. Yeah, you need to potentially revisit the way the data is being analyzed. Yeah. How about telling the truth for once, huh? How about telling the truth for once? Let's see. I'm just going to read some more from this article for you guys. According to Charles E. Kissling Jr., the president of Pennsylvania Coroners Association and coroner in Lycoming County, I'm not saying there's something going on. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but accuracy is important. Exactly. This guy, I want to put a little United States of America flag on this guy right here. That's your patriot right there. He said it's a matter of public safety that the Department of Health clarify the discrepancy. You guys think this is just going on in Pennsylvania? Let me know in the comments if you've got any reports from your own localities and your own regions and your own states, okay, about the discrepancies. According to the Daily Wire last week, the New York City is also including untested patients in their death totals. New York City added a huge number of deaths to the total number of deaths caused by coronavirus after deciding to include over 3,700 victims who had not even tested positive for the virus, but were presumed to have the virus because of their symptoms and medical history. What about the people that had false tests? What about the people that died with coronavirus, but possibly not from coronavirus? What's the accuracy? Where are the numbers? Where's the science? Where's the data? Let's keep looking at this article here from the Daily Wire just to give you guys some info on this. Here we have at the end of this article, they're giving some quotes from Dr. Birx, and you know who that is. She's been on the coronavirus task force, giving 2-hour press conferences 7 days a week for like the past month with the White House administration. And she says that the U.S. has very liberal recording guidance, noting that anyone who tests positive for the virus and dies would be included in their numbers of coronavirus deaths. Dr. Birx confirms that if you die with coronavirus but not from coronavirus, you will be included as a death. That doesn't mean you didn't have to die from coronavirus. You just had to die while this pandemic was going on. And even if you tested positive, even if it's a false positive, you're going to get listed in that numbers. These numbers aren't accurate, folks. I think in this country, we are taking a very liberal approach to mortality, she said at press briefing, and I think the reporting here has been pretty straightforward over the last 5 to 6 weeks. If someone dies with COVID-19, we are counting that. Dr. Birx confirms it herself at the federal level. They are counting people that die with COVID-19 but not from COVID-19 as official deaths. These numbers are manipulated and skewed to increase the fear-mongering and that is regurgitated by the mainstream media. They want you to be afraid. They want you to stay in your house. This is the information warfare that we're talking about here, folks. So wake up, come out of your slumber. It's time to wake up and see through these lies. It's getting harder and harder for these folks to control the information, control the narrative, because we, the people, have the power to communicate and speak. They want to control the information. They want to control the internet, but they can't. They can't. They've woken a sleeping giant. We're too powerful. We're too big. But only if we're not afraid. Only if we come out of this not afraid and come at it through science and rationality and logic. And just like those guys that are getting viral with their video looking at the CDC and the WHO data right now, I don't have their names in front of me. I forget their names. But I want to give them a little American flag too, because these guys are the real deal. This is what we need. They're saying, look, we're looking at the data through science and we're using science and we're saying this shit doesn't add up. And now here, Pennsylvania, thank you to the coroners coming out of Pennsylvania for standing up and saying this. They're saying this shit doesn't make sense. Dr. Birx confirms that these numbers are not being they're not accurately accountable for the deaths. And they also say that New York City is also doing the same thing that as Pennsylvania was doing. So what are the accurate numbers, folks? What's happened? We know 70 to 80% of people are asymptomatic. We know now that this virus has probably been with us for much longer than the end of March or February. It's probably been here much longer. We're probably much more already widespread infected than realized. And once we started to act, it was already out there. And we see all these numbers and all this data grow and grow and grow because we have increased testing. More and more tests that we have, the more and more cases that we have. But in regards to the lethality, the death rate of this is not accurate, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I just being a crazy conspiracy tinfoil hat guy, or is there something more to this than meets the eye? Are we being lied to? Is there a fear-mongering campaign? What is this all related to? How is it all connected? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, and let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.